Okay, in theory, you should be getting this recording. Okay, but do I see my face yet? I don't see my face yet. Okay, okay, hey, how's it going? You're not gonna see my face. Because I'm doing something else. How's it going, Kat? I hope you're doing well. I'm gonna get my bearings about me. I had another late night. Please forgive all of my tons of ugly screenness. So we're gonna go to Google and I'm going to show you how you might do something like turning an PDF into a audio file. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is pick a file. So you're doing government stuff. So I'm going to say environment government. And, oh look, EPA. We like look at them. Look at them. So we'll go to the EPA.gov. Investing in America, climate change, bipartisan infrastructure. I care about drinking water. What's some good basic information? Let's just get started here. With my quick internet. Actually, I should probably. Okay, so there's the Safe Drinking Water Act. How about we start there at the beginning, and how about we overview and understand? There's a PDF. There we go. There we go. Now I don't think it works to I don't think it works to import a PDF directly. So the software that we're using, and let's just do Google real quickly, and that's just going to show you how to install Poly. So, it is Amazon Poly. So, how do I install or how do I use Amazon Poly? Is something you're going to want to Google, and then it's how do I create an S3 bucket? And so these would be the two things that you want to do. Number one, I'd recommend, and just like so it's AWS documentation, I'd recommend finding a video. How to convert text to speech using AWS Poly would be one, and then also videos on create a S3 bucket with an AWS cloud formation, because you're going to have to go into AWS and do that. So I'm just going to go ahead, and it's easier for me to actually search for it rather than like try to find the URL, because it's like it's a development something back in Amazon crap. I hate Amazon. Amazon Poly. So I do a search for Amazon Poly, and then I go back to all, and then text to blah blah blah. So it's aws.amazon. So sign into the council. You're going to have to create an account if you don't already have one. I would go to Google. Google, how do I create an AWS account? Sign up for free, AWS, blah, 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 blah. Or you could also watch a video on it. So go here, sign into the council. So I'm going to go ahead and close these real quickly. And so you're going to want to have the root user. Here's my stupid email address that I used to create this 10 years ago. Don't count those dots. You might figure out my password. Let me see. So we have applications, all of this crap. It doesn't matter. Like what you're looking for is Amazon Poly. You want to find it. So I don't know exactly how you would search for the back end, but one of those videos should explain it. So here's Amazon Poly, but I recommend opening. Crap, I did that wrong, but it doesn't matter. So what you want to do is create a bucket first. So create a bucket right here. It says create a bucket. You need a bucket. It's the first thing you do. Bucket name. I'm going to say EPA cat. And so you also I'll show you a problem. So it automatically picks what server that they're going to want to use, or like what server farm. And so US West Oregon, that works. I think you're back on the East Coast. So I think the East Coast is Virginia is where you're going to be out of for AWS. So you're going to want to have a close one. Long story short, if you wind up ending like using the Oregon server, it's not going to work, and it's just going to throw a bunch of errors, and it's going to be like download failed, or upload failed. Check with blah 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 blah. And there's a diagnostic tool that you can follow to figure it out, but all the time it's because it's picking a server that's too far from you. I don't mess with any of this stuff. Block all public access or debug conversion if it's disabled, because I'm not an Amazon developer. I'd rather die. So then what we do is we go back to Amazon Poly. I did that real fast. You could just push the back button a whole bunch. And so this is the app that you're going to want to use. So here's an example. I'm just going to use some let me see, where is that? Listen.
Hi, my name is Joanna. I will read any text you type here. What a stud.
You're right, Joanna. Thanks. So there's Joanna. I use Matthew all the time as my default. It's just personal preference. Some people prefer listening to, male voice and prefer female.
What a stud.
I know, I am, right? So then what we do is we go over here and let me actually see. I've never tried. Yeah, so it's going to be a copy and paste thing. You're not going to be able to drop the whole PDF into here. Info, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. So go here and then you just copy. Let's do that long enough. All right, that's good enough. So Control C if you have a Mac. Then you go here, Control V. So there's all that text right there. Okay, and it says 1,400 characters used. Actually, let me stop that real quick. Let's go back here. No characters used. Let me actually refresh this real quickly because I want to show you something. 58 characters used. Restore default text. I guess it's not showing it. So you basically, you get 100,000 characters. Sometimes it says it here, sometimes it doesn't. Right now it's not saying it. So don't get mad. Oh, there it is. When the text to speak is between 3,000 and 100,000 characters, the synthesized speech must be saved in an S3 bucket. Okay? That's why we created the bucket. So then we go to S3. And then you need to remember your name. Let's see how good my memory is. EPA cat. Oh, man. Oh, it's going to be in Joanna. So you get to listen to Joanna, not my Matthew. But that's fine. Speech synthesis task is in progress. And so we open a link in a new tab. Go here. In progress still. So we close that. It usually goes pretty quick. It actually does not really take that long. There we go. Boop 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 boop. Open link new tab. Go here. Completed. S3 URL. Go here. Object overview. Blah 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 blah. Okay, that's don't care. We're gonna go up here to download. See this button over here on the right side of the screen? It says download. You go download.
The Safe Drinking Water Act, SDWA, was originally passed by Congress in 1974 to protect public health by regulating the nation's public drinking water supply. The law was amended in 1986 and 1996 and requires many actions to protect drinking water and its sources.
That's nice. I love water. So that's the way that you can turn something into a audio file. So one more thing real quickly. We'll do Finder. Finder. Oh, God, don't look at my desktop. It's a mess. I'm embarrassed now. Don't look at how I live. Blue repair aim. God, what a mess. Do I have any... Is there any porn here? Just kidding. I don't have porn on my computer. Quit music. Finder. I don't know if you use Apple, so I guess that's something I could have asked first. So downloads. Here's our MP3, and then you click on that, and you click on that, and you're right there. You go, and then it's Cat EPA. Come on. Okay, fine. I'll just rename it like this. Okay, fine. Cat EPA MP3. Ba-dunk. And what I do is I right click. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it works. Come on. There you go. I move it. Move to trash. Move to duplicated. Share. What I do is I share it to an AirDrop. Open up my phone. Dunk. There's Jacob Robertson's phone. Kabunk. Bump-a-bunk.
Was originally passed by Congress in...
And now it's saved on my phone. Now, a couple of things that I should explain if you're doing this. So the way that you listen to it is through files. So if you don't know how to open up your files, just open up the search function in your phone, press files, and that's really it's like your iCloud. Right there, done. Okay, so there's your iCloud right there. Beep, 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 beep. There's all my stuff, whatever. What was I saying there? Oh, you want to have a naming convention for this stuff? I'm gonna get out of here. I can't stand this. I gotta go back to God, this is such a mess. My screen. Clean up my. It actually used to be worse. 2 weeks ago, it was much worse. Maybe that'll be my project for the day. Clean up desktop so you don't embarrass yourself. Clean up desktop. So that's how you do that. You're going to want to have a naming convention for this stuff. So it could be like EPA 1, EPA 2, EPA 3, EPA 4, EPA 5, and write down what all of that stuff is, because unfortunately with files, it does work in its searches, but it's not as good as uploading it to iTunes or having an MP3 player or an MP3 file. Because it doesn't have the same functionality. You can play and you can scroll, but you can't, back up 15 seconds or 30 seconds or whatever it is. I digress. So that was mostly what we had to talk about. Let me see what your other, if you can bear with me, I'm going to go here and search the messages and explains. Yes. Also, since I seem to have answers to everything, it's a curse. Any tips for nights of wine craving? Typically, my cravings don't last more than 15 minutes. Wait, I'm not using the right voice. But tonight it was hours. I finally quit smoking once I resolved myself that's my cat voice, to the fact that it would suck for a while and to just live with it. Maybe the same thing applies here. Yeah, it actually kind of does. I don't want to... So here's the thing. I can't tell you what it's like for you to quit using a substance when you have addictive cravings, okay? My cravings might not be exactly... I'm not you, okay? However, I can tell you that the way that it occurs for me is sometimes I'm driving and the kids are screaming and it's I'm just going to go buy a bunch of weed at the weed store that I'm driving past in just a second. So there's some sort of trigger in my brain. There's two triggers right there. One is a geolocational, physical... in reality trigger, which is I'm driving past the store and this is the store that I always used to buy weed at because they had sales. If you do is buy on Wednesdays or happy hour, or actually really the way to do it is buy online, but I digress. And then there's also the other trigger, which is screaming children. And then there's another one, which is screaming children on the freeway. So it's oh my God, I'm just going to get stoned. It'll help really, blah, 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 blah. And so the first thing first thing that hits me is I'm stressed. Boom. I want something that turns off the stress. And I have developed a habit of taking a deep diaphragmatic breath. 3 of those usually works pretty good. There's the Anthony Huberman breath technique, which I think is 2 in through the nose, 1 out through the mouth. That one puts dopamine in your brain, so that can help a little bit. But really, the thing that helps me the most is I understand that if I'm going to get stoned, it's just going to get me stoned, and I'm actually going to be way more frustrated because then I'm going to have to take care of the kids who are screaming while I'm high, and it just sucks so bad to try and do something like that. And then it could also be God, I want to drink right now, but it's freaking pollen allergy season outside. My vehicles are yellow. I'll just have a bad hangover. I'm over 40. I have hangovers anyways. Why? I'm just going to feel like dirt if I drink. And then, God, I'm going to have to go down the toilet of drinking all the time. And I don't want to do that. God, I'm like, I don't need to gain the weight. And so that's kind of the way I do it, is I think of the consequences of it more than like, because here's the thing. There's like, I have an idea on how whatever substance is going to calm me down and make me feel better. But then there's the reality of it, which is it never makes me feel better. The end. Okay. So there was that ones. And oh yeah, sometimes I sneak a cigarette. If I'm being honest with you, like if it's real bad, I'll go buy some American Spirits, the black ones. And son of a bitch, those have a lot of nicotine. Like I am high as a kite after smoking one of those things, and I haven't had a cigarette in a year or 6 months or whatever it is. And I can quit pretty easily because one, like it's disgusting. Like after like a half pack, my lungs hurt. Two, and this, I'm not encouraging you to smoke, by the way, okay? So don't listen to me. But the other one is like my wife hates cigarettes. She'd rather I smoke rock, okay? She'd rather I'm like freebasing some crack cocaine than smoke a cigarette anywhere near her. So like that's another one which is like, man, I'm gonna get so much shit if I get kind of so then I don't do it like as much. Anyways, hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll talk to you later, Cat. Bye. Boop, and I gotta go to my